Welcome, everyone. This is Coffee with a Founder, where we interview people who are building great things in technology, but who are founder back or venture backed, which is a crazier even element of all the things of being an entrepreneur. I'm Beck Bamberger, and I'm a founder myself. I do not have venture capital backing, though, thank God. But I am a venture capitalist, so I get it on the other sides and all the things. But anyway, with us today, coming from now, where did you say you're calling in from or recording from?
I'm in Redwood Shores.
Oh, okay. Which is where exactly?
Which is just south of the San Francisco airport.
Okay.
It's where
San Carlos, the area.
Oracle and
Yes.
EA. Yeah.
All those big giants are. Yes. Is Satyen Sangani. He's a co-founder and CEO of Alation. And you were just saying to me, you were so excited because you guys did a hackathon and you were like, oh my gosh, it was like a 10x based on what the one you just did a quarter ago.
We've run
Tell us more.
We've run a hackathon for, pretty much since the inception of the company in 2012. So we've done one sometimes annually, but now we're starting to do them every
quarter,
every half year. And I would love to do them every quarter because we get everybody together in person, like globally. So our head of engineering is in India right now. And this was, just incredible. Just like the kinds of problems that we're solving, there is everything from better compliance to entirely new ways of rethinking, leveraging deep research, end-to-end flows. It is like the level of thought is just amazing, and the imagination that Gen AI allows you to, and LLMs allow you to sort of put to work. It just, it's so much fun to see velocity, and it's so much fun to see this team cook and create and just take ideas and make them their own. It's one of my favorite events, and it's been just so much inspiration to see.
God, like when you got on this call, I was like, "What's a highlight?" And you're just like, you're having so much fun right now.
Yeah, I think that's yes, because I think the fun is in just like, oh my God, we're making progress. Oh my God, we're actually solving problems and not, there's moments in literally every day, there's moments where you're sitting there and you're like sludging through mud.
Yeah, why am I
And
doing
then
this?
there's those moments where you're like, oh my God, it's actually working.
Yes.
And those are the moments that you live for, because as a founder, you're always in this place where, most of the crap that comes to you is not the stuff that's working.
Exactly, because you're chief product or a problem solver, mostly. Yeah. And you've been at this 13 years, so you're a little bit long in the tooth with this company. How is that feeling in your venture-backed journey at this point?
Oh man, there's been moments.
Let's get into the moments. Yes.
So I think I was talking to a longtime advisor, a guy named Dave Kellogg, and Dave Kellogg, he was a CEO of a couple of companies, but also CMO at Business Objects. And he was saying, look, it used to take 5 years to get to being public, and then people would get liquidity, and you could change. You could go through one technology cycle, and now you've got to go through multiple technology cycles. And for all but the fastest growing companies, it can be a long road. And I'd say it has been, but I think there's been moments and years of struggle. But I would also say just going through the troughs of that struggle teach you so much more as a leader.
Oh, of course.
And so it's been great. Amazing. Amazing. Like really crappy. But I think the Jensen Wang thing of saying oh, suffering, I wish you suffering. I do think that there's something to that.
Suffering. Oh, so I know. God, he's a savage, and I love it. Shout out to NVIDIA, just crushing it. $4 trillion.
Yeah, I wish I could suffer more like him, but all good. We'll figure it. We'll get there.
You will get there. Excellent. Okay, so you were talking about these hackathons. They're with your team only. So you fly. Do you bring in the whole team? Let's get a little bit more into that.
So we have we have engineers all around the world. We have engineers in Europe. We have engineers in India. We have engineers in the United States. And we basically fly them to the closest regional hub. So all the India engineers get together in Chennai. All the engineers in Europe mostly get together in Poland. And then you've got most of the US engineers getting together here in Redwood Shores. People, bring sleeping bags. They sleep overnight. They put their stuff together and they go.
Wait. Do they bring sleep? They sleep in the office? You're saying
they're not required to. We're not like, people do what they do, and we let them show up and do whatever they want to go do. And some people are, pretty savage about it, as you put it. And It's
Savage. It's like,
amazing to just
"Look,
watch.
you wanna sleep on the floor. Listen, sleep on the floor."
Yeah, exactly.
I
Glassdoor
mean, there's
just went down
something.
by 5 points.
Yeah, no, you didn't. I said it. I said it. Just to be clear, Saini, you did not say, "Hey,
I
you're
did,
required
and
to bring your sleeping bag." I'm
I
just
did not say
commenting
it.
that you have team members globally who are like, "No, no, no. I'm not looking for my hotel room because I'm bringing my sleeping bag."
It's amazing. Actually, at the first hackathon last year,
God,
that's exactly what my head of engineering did. He literally brought a sleeping bag, and he was like, I'm doing this." And, that kind of stuff is super inspiring. I mean, there's obviously all of the stuff that we want to build and
of
AI and
course,
changing
of
the world
course.
and impact.
Yeah.
And then there's like the stuff that's like day to day, like, oh, that person literally just like, dropped everything that they were doing. In fact, during the hackathon, we had a P1 issue that came up,
Okay.
and the team that was supposed to put together a hack instead decided to drop everything
To solve.
and worked on a customer issue. And that, on some level, just like builds culture in so many different fundamental ways. And it was great to see it.
I just love the visual of your head of engineering walking into the office, being like, "No, you guys aren't staying in the hotel. This is it. I'm sleeping on the floor."
He,
Uh,
you
I,
know, he wanted to set an example, and kudos to him.
okay, so now let's go a little bit, dig more into that. So so that, because that just happened, right? Like this just happened,
This happened 6
or
months
this
ago
was 6 months.
for
Okay, this
him.
was
For
six
him,
months ago.
yeah.
Okay, but now you just told me before we got on recording, you were like, "Oh, but the one you just had was like evenly." You were like saying it was like a 10x. So what happened from brought the sleeping bag to the one that you just had? That is just. What do you think?
I think AI is so transformational, and I think people don't
Yes.
always know how to use it,
Yes.
and people don't know where they can use it and what problems they can
Yes.
solve with it. And so, you there's this like, I guess like, I don't know what metaphor you would use, but
Mhm.
it's like any skill, riding a bike. Like
Yeah.
first you're wobbly, and then you get velocity and speed. And I think people have in engineering this idea of sort of coding deterministically. Like I'm going to take in inputs, I'm going to put in an output. The program is going to go from X, it's going to go do Y.
Mhm.
That's a very obvious thing to do. But now sort of this kind of deterministic, like non-deterministic computer, this natural language programming thing gives you so much faculty to solve so many problems in so many different ways, right?
Mhm.
And we all see that, we all know that. But then actually getting to a place where you're using it to do things and to
Mhm.
actually build these agents and to transform your work and to think about problems differently, watching the team click and actually watch them change their mindset and what they build, that is what's incredible. And,
Oh,
and you can solve all of these problems that we've been trying to solve for decades, like literally the last decade, in completely different ways and in such magical ways. And so super cool.
so we didn't even talk about what you all solve. What would you say Alation does?
Alation is a company, and we describe ourselves as a data and agent platform. We're
Mhm.
still actually figuring out the categories. I mean,
Mm.
which we founded this category called the data cataloging category.
Yeah.
We were the first mover in it. We were the first ones to build a data catalog. It's exactly what the name sounds like. It's
Mhm.
Wikipedia for your data.
Yeah, 'cause
Um,
connect people with the data they need.
Exactly.
What
And
data
so
do I
people
need?
have tons of data inside of their companies. It's really, really hard to understand what X underscore Y underscore Z 123 is in a database. Nobody
Mhm.
understands it. We crawl these databases. We make all that information discoverable. You go to Wikipedia. Now, that's great. But of course, do you go to Wikipedia anymore? You probably don't. You go to ChatGPT.
That's right.
And you go there because it is much more contextual. It can answer exactly the
Correct.
problem and the
Yes.
question that you're trying to answer.
Yes.
And so the
Mhm.
same thing is happening in our world. We are now transforming the world of data management, and everything that was otherwise done inside of your wiki is now going to be done inside of a tool like ChatGPT. So what does
Mhm.
that world look like? And so that question has been transformational for our space and transformational for the company. And
Mm.
so how do we describe what we do today? I think what we really want to help people do is govern and understand their data. That's what they've always done with Alation. We certainly help them do that. We
Mhm.
want to make sure that they can use these AI agents to work with their most mission critical data.
Mm.
Because one thing about AI is it's great with unstructured text. It's not super good with the data that's in your transactional databases, your customer systems, your
Mhm.
operational systems. So we help people basically build high fidelity precision AI for their structured data. And we help them do that no matter where the data lives.
Mm.
And so your
Mm.
data can live in Databricks or Oracle or Snowflake or Amazon, we don't care.
Yeah,
We
it's
help
all
you play it where it lives.
typically. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what did I see somewhere on? Well, now I'm on your profile, so I got to go back to the page of the Alation here. 40% of Fortune 100s use you guys.
Yeah.
Dang.
Might be more now.
Probably more.
I haven't
Probably
looked.
more.
I haven't looked at it
I bet
recently.
that's an old stat. Okay. Now, a little bit more about you. You were at Oracle for almost 10 years. You were then a senior director, blah, blah, blah. You were at the Texas Pacific Group. You were like all these other places. What made you go, you know what, shoot, I got to do this venture back thing. I got to be a founder.
Yeah, my wife. Pretty
Really?
much. Yeah. I was, frustrated entrepreneur working inside of Oracle, or frustrated sort of mid-level manager, VP at Oracle.
You
VP's
were
kind
an
of like,
entrepreneur.
whatever. I thought, I had all these ideas.
Yeah.
And I came home frustrated one day, and, which happened often because I always had the sense that like every entrepreneur, like, oh, I could do this better. I could make this change.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right. Like you could, you sort of see it and you make all these like grandiose claims about how
yeah.
you're going to kill every windmill.
Yeah.
And so came home, was frustrated. And she's like, look, you're going to go start a company. And I didn't even know that I wanted to be a company. In fact, my father had started companies and made a mess out of the entire thing. So growing up, I was like, entrepreneurship sucks, because our family went through a ton of struggle as a result of it. But she was like, no, you're an entrepreneur. You're going to start a company. And it doesn't matter if it succeeds or fails. You're going to go do this. And you're going to do this because if you don't do this, you're going to like, I'm going to live next to this old man that would have been regretful.
To me like this all the time. Oh my gosh. Who is this wife? Where did you meet her?
We met at a couple of weddings. She was the cousin of a person who founded a company.
Okay.
Who I was friends with and had worked for.
Okay.
And then I knew another one of her cousins. And so anyways, over a couple of weddings,
multiple weddings. You saw her at multiple weddings.
Saw her at multiple weddings. And the most recent, the one where we got together was of one of my very close friends went to medical school with her. And so anyways, after that wedding, I was actually moving to England, and because I was going to go to grad school there.
Yeah.
And we got introduced, and she's like, well, he's moving to England. Why would I want to talk to him? I'm like doing my medical residency at UCLA. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And so but then, her cousin convinced her to do it, to have a call with me. We talked for 18 hours for our first phone call.
You freaking savage. Look at you.
And then, I was like, oh, this is the woman I want to marry. I knew that at the end of the call, which, it took her, it's the one thing that she was much slower than me about, which I always remind her of.
We always are.
There's very little that I can.
Women are always like, let me see. I don't know.
Yeah, it took her a long time. So this was a tragic thing, but like it was the one way I was right in our relationship, and I feel good about that.
You got it. You're like 18 hours you can hang on one call.
Yeah.
Boom, you're in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So
wow. I love this story. Oh my God. So, I mean, she's a trooper. Listen, I already know now, if this woman is on an 18-hour call with you, she's going to tell you.
She's on an 18-hour call with me, and she doesn't get it. She gets off the phone and she's like, yeah, maybe. Like, he could be okay. Like, it wasn't like, 18-hour call. Like, that's obvious.
I want to interview her for this show. Cause like,
yeah. What were you thinking? Why did you go forward?
If he did 24, then maybe, but 18, that's it. That is so funny. Okay, that gives me all the context for why you come home from your next, whatever, almost 10 years at Oracle. You're complaining once again. She's like, listen, you're going to do this. Like, it sounds like she just was like, you got to do this.
Yeah, pretty much. And then 3 years, it took us a little bit of time because we wanted to house, picket fence, 2 kids, and all that stuff. We wanted to do our thing before I could go do it. But then we did that, and I did it, and then here we are, 13 years later. Yeah.
God, this is why I love doing these recordings and this show, because there is something that happens each time, Satyen, where there's a little dollop of something like so good and juicy that you're not hearing anywhere else, that you're not going to see on your LinkedIn profile or blah, 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 blah. You're not going to ever say this on stage, that like, I just get it. So your wife propelled you, maybe shoved you to start this company.
Yeah, totally. Damn, entirely.
I freaking love this. It's great. So let me ask you now, how does she influence you now, 13 years plus later? Do you use her as a confidant? Is she just more like, yeah, honey, okay, now you're not complaining, or you're complaining about other things? What would you say?
Um, I I mean, there's this article, I think, somewhere that said something like, the most profound thing you can do for your own success is to marry somebody. Like, the
The
person you
right,
marry, like,
yes.
helps. And so I think, so she comes from this incredible family. And she is incredibly disciplined. And I think it just shows up literally every single day. And for the kids and for me and for her, like my mother lives with us. My in-laws live super close to us. Like, she's sort of the rock of the family. And I think
Yeah,
like
she's the
the
glue.
ability to be able to watch her and to see the discipline and you got to keep up. And so I think
You
that
gotta keep
ethos,
up.
is, I think, very much like very real. And, it's funny because her incredible, like her entire family is cut from this same cloth. Like, one is like it just the entire family has like this level of success in different ways. Like, one was the founder of MoveWorks, another one has founded a big AI company that's in the healthcare space. I mean, so it's a really incredible group of people.
Yeah.
And I think it's all just because they just work incredibly hard. So I think watching that work ethic, being around that work ethic, it's really incredible.
And I think people are so consistent, and I love this statement of behavior is truth. So someone who's like a savage in work, frankly, and who could show up and do like an 18-hour day is the person who's like, yeah, we're doing a call for 18 hours. Like, I can do, I'm the same in like how I practice multiple things in like work, personal, and so forth. It sounds like she's the same. And then she's surrounded by like this cyclone of the same stuff. Ah, good job. This was the best thing you did, marrying her. Shout out to your wife.
Yeah,
What's her name?
shout out to me for making a good decision after 18 hours. I know, incredible.
Wow.
Good. Yay me.
Yeah, yay you. What's her name, by the way?
Her name is Jigna.
Chigna. Look at this. This is like a new level on this podcast of like, shout out to the partners, the wives, the people that are like pushing you to kind of do this. Okay. So let's walk it a little bit back, and we don't have too much time because we got to move on with the other things. But you said, okay. So we're going to do that. The first year, when did the venture capital part come into play? That was a while ago, obviously.
Yeah. So I left Oracle in 2012. Almost immediately after that happened, I connected with a friend from high school who I wasn't really close friends with, but he basically was like, just come hang out with us. His name was Chris Farmer. He's since founded a VC called Signal Fire, which has done incredibly well.
Shout out to Josh Constein, who's there as their comms lead. Yep.
Yeah. And so Chris sort of found me. He's like, come eat our M&Ms. He was at GC at the time. I did do that.
Come and eat your M&Ms?
They had lots of like food in their entrepreneurial center. And so I just like walk in randomly. I wasn't even in EIR, but I would just like do that. And then it took me, Chris introduced me to a whole bunch of folks, but it took me about 6 months to find co-founders.
Okay.
Which was its own story, but lots of people said no. Lots of people said thought it was a bad idea, but I ultimately did, and then got initial funding about 7 months later in the early part of 2013.
Okay.
That was our seed round, and then went from there.
And then you were on the path from there. Gosh, Satyen, what is now clear to you?
Gosh, so many things.
Give us three.
I think it's much clearer to me when something's working out with a person that works for me than it was 10 years ago. Like, I was always maligned and sort of thought when I was trying to hire an executive and didn't know if they were working out. Now that is that is much clearer, and I think I have a much stronger sense for my own center.
Is it now? Intuition? What is it? Would you say?
It's intuition. I think it's experience.
Yes.
Like, it's knowing when you can try to make it work versus knowing when it doesn't work anymore.
Yep.
So that's certainly clear to me. I think how we fit into the world of AI is now super clear to me. I would almost say a year ago it wasn't. Today, like, it's super clear. And the value proposition of what we can do and our velocity in doing it, it's just so exciting because you can see it and you can see the momentum, and that's really fun. What else is clear to me?
One last one to wrap this up. Yeah.
I kind of have everything I need. Like, that's pretty clear to me. Like, we're just amazing family, incredible company, incredible colleagues. Like, yeah.
What else do you want? I sometimes just for fun among my like friends, you know, they get a big thing or something big happens, and I'm just like, what else do you want? Like, what else do you want? Like, facetiously, in the sense of like, great, you win the lottery again. Like, you know, with some other fabulousness. What else do you want? Oh, I think we end it right there. Satyen, that was fantastic.
Thanks, Beck.
Satyen Sangani, co-founder and CEO of Alation, that is obviously having these hackathons that are bringing with the sleeping bags. Not that that's required, but that must be really fun. That must be really fun. Damn. This was great. And shout out to your wife again. Look at her. Cheers to her. I hope she has equity.
Yay.
I know she does.
Yeah. I mean, California.
Yeah. I think she's good.
So
she's good. She's all excellent. Thanks, Satyen. Good chatting with you.